Oh, hi. Our topic is water cycle.
First thing we'll get to know about water cycle, it's what is it? And well, yeah, let's check it out. The water cycle hydrologic is a continuous cycle where the water evaporates, travels into the air and becomes part of the clouds, falls down to the earth as precipitation and then evaporates again. These areas are usually close to the oceans or large bodies of water that allow more water to evaporate and form clouds. The hydrologic or water cycle is the simplest of the nutrients cycles. Although water is essential to all life, most of the movement occurs independently of living things. Most of the water that goes through the cycle remains in the form of water. The major reservoir of water is the ocean, which covers around 3/4 of the Earth's surface that contains more than 97% of Earth's water. The hydrologic cycle is driven by solar energy, which evaporates water, and by gravity, which draws it back to the earth and forms it to precipitation, rain, snow, sleet, or dew. From the water drawn back to earth by precipitation, some of it is lost in land and a small portion comes back into the ocean through lakes and streams.
The water cycle has 7 important stages.
1. Evaporation. The surface water turns into vapors due to the heat of the sun. Through evaporation, water moves from the hydrosphere to the atmosphere. This reduces temperature. Condensation. At the atmosphere, water vapor changes into tiny particles of ice or water because of the low temperature. These particles come close together and form clouds and fog. 3. Sublimation. It is the process in which ice converts into water vapor without passing through liquid state. It is a slower process than condensation. Step 4. Precipitation. The clouds pour as precipitation due to wind or temperature changes. This causes the particles to create drops. When the temperature is very low, these droplets fall as snow. Step 5. Transpiration. As water falls, some of it is absorbed by the soil. Step 6. Runoff. Runoff is the process where water runs over the surface of the earth, this leading often to lakes, seas, and oceans. Here, the water enters the hydrosphere. Step 7. Infiltration. Some of the water that precipitates does not run off into the rivers and is absorbed by the plants or gets evaporated. It moves deep into the soil. This is called infiltration. The water seeps down and increases the level of groundwater table. It is called pure water and is drinkable. The infiltration is measured as inches of water soaked by the soil per hour.
And this is why the water cycle is important.
The water cycle is important to life on Earth for many reasons. All living organisms require water, and the water cycle describes the process of how water moves through the planet. Plants wouldn't grow without precipitation, and thus anything consuming the plants wouldn't survive, and so forth. Infiltration of water filters and cleans our water. Glaciers, ice, and snow can act as stores of fresh water for both humans and other organisms. Runoff contributes to rivers, other freshwater bodies, and eventually the ocean, sustaining fresh water and marine life.
Okay, now, one very important thing about the water cycle are the phase changes.
Without phase changes, there would not be a water cycle. Probably the most important one is the phase change from liquid to gas. That is because that phase is the one that purifies the water. Also, liquid water would not be able to rise. If there would not be a phase change from liquid to gas, there would eventually be no water vapor in the air. No water vapor in the air means no precipitation. All the water would collect on the earth unevenly, causing floods in some places and droughts in other places. So it's very easy. Phase changes are very important for the water cycle, because without phase changes, none of the stages would be possible.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Groundwater and surface water are very different.
Surface water is the water found in lakes, rivers, creeks, and reservoirs, and it's vitally important for our daily life. Its main uses include its drinking, public uses, and irrigation uses. Groundwater is the water found under the soil, and it's stored in the spaces between the underground rocks and slowly flows through them and eventually seeps into streams, rivers, lakes, and oceans.
This is
Water cycle.